This is World 3 news. Minecraft news for grown-up, adult-type grown-ups. Uh, as you can see today, I'm just doing some simple mining. Look, this is for adults. If you're not 18, if you're just a kiddo, and you're looking for a Minecraft video, talk to Stampy Cat or something. Oh shit! All right. Like the deal is that I kind of built an old mine on top of a new mine, and now I have to kind of mine around the old mine, which is bigger and cooler and better in every way. Right. So if you're just some kiddo, this isn't for you. This is boring, stupid, boring adult stuff. So just go to Stampy Cat or MC Admin or really anyone else. Anyone else is doing Minecraft videos. There's 1,000 of them. Why are you here, kid? All right. So now that they're gone, we can talk about staying up past 8 p.m. in vaginas and stuff. But seriously, we're just going to talk about the news. It's real boring, but it's what we do here. There's a BBC article. Well, it's freaking everywhere. Santa, like one of the guys that dresses up to go to be Santa, he goes to a place. There's a kid that's dying of a terminal disease. He does the whole Santa deal. He tells the family, "Hey, look, if you guys can't keep it together, man, you just get out." And so they do, and then he talks to the kid, and he's like, "Hey, look, kid, I don't know if there's a heaven or hell, but you're doing good. Just tell wherever you go, wherever you meet, whenever you go there, just tell him Santa sent you. You'll be covered." And the kid literally dies in his arms. There's been a little bit of reluctance. There's been the possibility brought up that maybe, it's not really a story, maybe it didn't happen, and I don't know. But after this long and rancorous election season, I think we all need a heartwarming piece of news to make us feel better about ourselves and the country and the news. I think this was in Tennessee or something. But it's just as terrible as all the election news. Look, if you're reading news to feel an emotion, if it's your 2 minutes hate or your 2 minutes love, you're not reading the news for the right reasons. The news is supposed to be boring, like this show. It's supposed to be factual, like this show. And my inability to actually drop torches under gravel as much as I'd like to, just to save myself some goddamn time. It's the news shouldn't be your emotional, educational outlet. Watch Luke Cage or Black Mirror, all of those other shows that I should be watching, but I'm not because I'm a terrible person. Cry over Supernatural or whatever. Go to entertainment to get your emotional needs met, and then turn around, put on your big boy pants, and read the goddamn boring ass news for facts and figures and things that are true. And I'm sorry, but you hate infotainment, I hate infotainment, and that's what you do. You read the boring ass relevant news and you educate yourself, and don't turn to BBC or CNN or anyone else for heartwarming, amazing stories. It's not news. It's tripe. It's tripe, and you're better than that. What's next? Oh, God. Look, I have tried really hard to avoid... Yeah, it's just a bunch of crap. I hate leaving cobble here because it just looks ugly as hell. And I swear to God, I have, I think... eight double chests of stone somewhere, and I am going to use that to completely renovate and refinish these mines. I'm going to do it with an iron pickaxe because I'm not going to do it with my top tier enchanted diamond pickaxe. Actually, this is a bad example because the diamond pickaxe I'm using right now is like efficiency 1, fortune 3, and I just don't feel like getting better enchantments on a different pickaxe. Because technically I should be using a enchantment efficiency 4 diamond pickaxe or a high level efficiency pickaxe just for this gross work here that I'm doing, and then I should swoop in with the fortune 3 pickaxe when I find coal or redstone or diamonds or whatever. But I don't. I'm just lazy, man. Okay, it's my levels. I'll cry if I want to. Oh yeah, right. So one of the most important things I can do is to cut corners, which is whenever I hit a corner, because my walls are 3 blocks deep, I cut 3 blocks out of a corner so that when I'm doing the outer level, the next ring out of pathways, I see the breaks in the wall so I know where to turn. so I don't keep going on forever. I didn't do that, and that's why that intersection is there, because I cut through this wall and then everything behind me. See, and just fucking, I just gotta. I like things being the way they should be, even if it's too late. Shit, fuck. This is supposed to be 3 wide. I completely didn't make this 3 wide, so fuck me. Okay, another reason children can't watch this show. It's boring and there are curse words. Also, I said vagina like 5 minutes ago. Right. So yeah, Russia, I try to talk about the election. I mean, everyone's talking about it. You can go literally anywhere else to hear about the election that's not here. So I don't want to honestly bore you with that stuff. I don't want to really be partisan. I'm very partisan. I'm a very liberal person. Well, I'm progressive. I do not even know what liberal is anymore. Watching all of my liberal news feeds literally disintegrate since November 8th, 2016. Into just sheer madness. Sheer madness. But the deal is that, okay, if Russians fished Democrats who were terrible with, I don't want to say OPSEC, just IT, who are just bad at IT, and then release information, yeah, it's unfair. Yeah, it shows clear favoritism towards Donald Trump. And, it may have tipped the scales in the election and changed a very narrow electoral college win by the current president-elect. I mean, it's December 19th. This is probably not going to go up until December 20th. But, it's over. It's over. So, the deal is that Russia, they put their thumb on the scales, but Americans pulled the levers the day of the elections. So I don't know what y'all want. I mean, it was legit voting. Jill Stein made movements on some possible voting machine irregularities in a couple of states, and that completely fell through. And you can talk about the legality of all of that. I mean, I get that. I'm going to get to those times, don't worry. And say, hey, look, isn't it weird how this is a presidential election, and the deal is that I always cut out completely around diamonds. So I'm going to cut, because I don't want to pop a diamond and then there's lava for no reason. That would be just the biggest kick in the balls, right? So every diamond, not cluster, vein I find is a complete excavation. 360 degrees, every edge of the diamonds is cleared out. Because diamonds, man. So, the deal is that the law in at least one state, I believe it's Wisconsin, says, hey, look, if you didn't stand to lose from these voting irregularities, it doesn't concern you, when objectively it concerns all of us. But nonetheless, such is the law. And the law is that electors can vote for anyone, and blah, blah, blah. Or they pay a $1,000 fine. Let me tell you, Donald Trump has specifically tampered with democratic processes by funneling illegal donations to political candidates through his charity, and he paid the fines, and so we're fine. So I believe that if you are a Trump voter and you do not hold that against him, then I don't think you could hold against any elector violating the law than simply paying the $10,000 fine. But nonetheless, water under the bridge. The Russians didn't tamper with our election. They didn't hack it. They simply asymmetrically provided information to support a candidate that they obviously favored, which is bad. And, it's an open and shut case if Trump had simply said, the Russians maybe wanted me to be president, but I will always put America first, and they made a bad bet. If he'd said that, it'd be amazing. And this whole thing would be done. I mean, obviously you still have people bitching about it, but that's the nature of the news cycle. It's a completely reactive stance where journalists just take whatever happened and they swing it and they miscontextualize and they misconstrue it, which is insane. It's insane that reporters take things Donald Trump does and they misconstrue them at all to mean anything, because you don't have to do that. The things he says are damning enough. But regardless, it's I want to say it's a damn squib. Come on, who cares? I mean, I know who cares, and I know that you don't want him to be president, and you think he's an apocalyptic candidate, and I believe he's an apocalyptic candidate, but Russia didn't fuck with the voting. They just gave us information, and then we voted based on that. So, tough titties, guys, you know? And that's the thing that really gets me. That is the thing which, just really, I gotta have these stairs even. Sorry. Is that the fact of the matter is that even though Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, and Donald Trump is trying to manufacture this mandate myth, which he doesn't have, he technically won. He won on a technicality, the same thing that lets off killers, because police didn't, read them their rights. He won on a technicality. He's a loser, basically, and it's weird that the narrative hasn't adopted that. So, anyway, so what Democrats need to do now, what they will not do, is they need to put on their big people pants, acknowledge that the Republicans have Congress, that the Republicans have the White House, that Republicans will probably soon have an unfathomably terrible pick for the Supreme Court, and that's going to suck, and that maybe some of them will have to sacrifice their precious goddamn moral purity and say, hey, look, Donald Trump, President Trump, you want to pass this law. There are Republicans you don't like who are mean to you, that you don't want to work with, and you want to eliminate their parts of this law. We're Democratic moderates. We are willing to work with you on a couple of things that will make you popular, if not loved, amongst the left. And bada bing, bada boom. We can help you get this. We can give you options. And he's a slippery motherfucker who believes in nothing. So of course he wants options. Of course he wants options. And all you have to do is sign off on bills that are very Republican and very bad for people. The thing is that it's like putting the bell on the cat, though. Being a Democrat who teamed up with Trump, who gave him those options, who took terrible bills and made them slightly less terrible bills, it doesn't win you an election. So what does win you elections? Digging your heels in and filibustering and trying to obstruct everything they do instead of, being a reasonable adult about it and getting rolled and getting overridden. Every president, every time I see the power of balance shifting Congress, they change the rules to make it harder for the minority party to filibuster. And I saw in the Bush years, Republicans do it to Democrats. I've seen in the Obama years, I saw Democrats do it to Republicans. And now I'm going to see Republicans do it to Democrats. Be like, oh, we're going to make it harder to filibuster. And they're just going to switch goddamn scripts, the exact same script, and they're going to switch it. It's insane. It's insane. But I see some of these people who are like, oh, we're so tired of the high road, but they still maintain their moral purity because they believe because they're right, because they are right. Liberals deal with a lot of science, and yeah, we sniff our own farts and we love it. All right. But the deal is that generally speaking, we're right. Just treat people like goddamn humans. Don't kick people into the curb until they regrow their own teeth. It's completely absurd, this notion to punish bad people until they stop being bad or subpar. Sometimes you got to fuck people over, but it's not the answer for every solution. It's not the answer for every problem. So, but then there are people who are completely tired of the high road. They're like, oh, when they go high, we go low, we lose. But we motherfucking won, assholes. Like, talk to me about the states where we lost senators, where we lost Senate races, and tell me why we lost those. It's not because we were so preciously righteous and that we should have been bigger lying scumbags. Like, was that the answer? No, that's why people didn't like Hillary. People liked Bernie because he believed in good things and was generally honest. And if he'd had name recognition from day one, he probably would have crushed Hillary Clinton. He probably would have been the nominee. And I'm pretty sure he would have beat the shit out of Trump because he wouldn't have played it safe, believing that he already had the country won and just needed to keep that safe. But we don't know. We don't know. What we do know is that you continue doing the right thing. You continue working with facts. And you don't continue trying to prove that Trump is terrible. We know he's a bad person. Whenever he was accused of groping women in their pussies, he said, but ISIS. Because that's what the American people wanted to hear. Hey, look, we can treat each other like shit. We can let the rich run roughshod over the weak and the people in need. Because it's more important that we focus on ISIS. And that's what he said. We can abandon civility and respect for one another. And all of these principles because ISIS is scary. That's his message. People know and understand that he is a human garbage pile. They understand that he's a short-fingered vulgarian. But they believe that he will do things to make them safe and prosperous again, regardless of the consequences. And you need to work on that paradigm instead of continuing to try to convince people of what they already know and accept about this piece of crap. They know that. They get that. I mean, the Trumpkins, the hardcore Trump supporters, they don't give a shit. Like, they take whatever Trump says as truth first and worry about facts and decisions never. We're not talking about them. They're terrible. They're obviously terrible. Your values are not negotiable, though. I mean, they won you this year. Like, most people would have elected Hillary Clinton. And let me tell you, that's goddamn monumental. Like, she's awful. She's terrible. She's the embodiment of the way things have been. There was a Simpson episode where Bart goes to work with Homer, and Homer's like, "There's 3 ways to do everything, Bart: the right way, the wrong way, and the Max Power way." And Bart goes, "Isn't the Max Power way just the wrong way?" And Homer goes, "Yes, but it's faster. Hillary Clinton was the wrong way. Donald Trump was the Max Power way. And people who vote for and support him on that axis, more power to you." But trying to convince people that Hillary Clinton is the right way is not the argument. Trying to convince people that Donald Trump is the wrong way, it's a foregone conclusion. They're just happy that he is going to get there faster. They want a reset because they don't feel that any of this stuff works for them. They feel completely powerless. And I can do a whole different rant about why people feel powerless and disconnected, because they're idiots in Hollywood. But the values served you well. Like, they would have won Hillary Clinton if it wasn't for, the impossibility of polling the American public right now and a couple of swing states. Like, she won, fellas. Like, you're not in a crisis unless you start talking about why you lost the Senate. I feel like I'm repeating myself. So, look, the Republicans have Congress and the White House, and they're not fucking smart enough to use that power to do anything to get Americans on side in 2018 or 2020. Just keep the fires burning. Keep moving. Work with facts. Work with data. Hammer home your messages. Talk about voting rights. Talk about this legislative coup in North Carolina. Continue speaking. Yeah, I never do it. It's the most important thing for designing these fucking minds, and I just never do it. It's awful good. I got that one. Just for consistency. Oh, I did do that earlier. All right, well, never mind. I still needed to check. So, oh God, I fucked this up. So anyway, but at least it gives it character. One of the issues with these minds is that sometimes it does end up being a little samey, where it was like, oh, good, I was breaking through. I thought, oh boy, I turned around all the way and I was already at the midpoint here. So, right, yeah, it's just always something. There should be an indentation here from. Oh, I'm not at the midpoint. Whatever. So, yeah, it's down there. Anyway, so it's insane. Everyone's insane and stupid, and I don't agree with the things that they're doing or saying. Which, if this is your first time listening, you may notice a recurring theme there. What else is going? Nerd news. Magic. Oh yeah, we got more magic fiction that came out. I think we're dealing with shoot, I forget her name. But we've sort of been tracking her. She's making this interplanar portal. Tezzeret, who's the bad guy for this block, he is just the worst manager. I expect him to steal fast as Biden and be just go full evil boss from the Pierce Brosnan episode of SNL. That was probably 10 years ago now, but he's completely ill-equipped to motivate workers at any level. It's just, he just wants to scream at people, to just beat and execute people until morale improves. He's ridiculously stupid. Regardless, so the issue on Kaladesh with the planar portal has moved forward. Still don't know what Bolus is going to use that for. People keep chanting Phyrexians, and I want to discount them out of hand, because every time people talk portals, they want to talk Phyrexians. But I was equally exasperated at the insistence that Imrakul would be the bad guy for the second Innistrad block. So maybe I'm the asshole here. Anyway, Magic Fiction is getting better, though. It's pretty good. And again, I can't restate what I said it was a week or two ago now about Yehini. Yehini is great. We love Yehini. Just waiting for that legendary card to get spoiled. I think the Magic team is off for the next 2 weeks. So we're just getting, Dennis Dupree in the Holy Land until then. Battletech, I was talking with some guy about a Battletech podcast, but he kind of bailed on me. I was thinking about doing that. I don't know if there's really enough content in a Battletech podcast to keep it going. They release things at a glacial pace. They just made a new store, so that's a thing, which is only a thing for like a couple weeks. And honestly, I'm not on like a personality wavelength with most Battletech guys, so I don't know who my demographic would be. People who used to play Battletech but now love to shit on it. I don't know if there's enough guys in there. Probably more than current Battletech players, though, to be honest. Let's see. I'm still trying to hack through Fate, Worlds Take Flight. It's a hard read, man. It's vague stuff. I'm trying to get through the whole like players are gods and some pretty cool concepts of like 5 mythical areas, and then you can make sub-realms and like, no, it's the Null Tree from the Dark Woods. And you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then like as a god, you can do things that affect like the entire region because you're a god, and you can move across the world in just a few nights. And it's interesting, and it's worth looking into. It just doesn't hook me, I guess. And I'm just reading through it because those books are expensive. Great art, well edited, interesting ideas. They don't all hook me. So you got a book that's like $20-25. It's hardcover, beautifully bound, official Fate material. It's got 4 adventures, and then you're maybe into 1 or 2 of them. And then the other 2 are kind of misses for you. But maybe they're a hit for someone in your group, and they're interested in doing it, and then you can give them the book and not feel like you wasted $20-25. I don't know. Let's see. We were running an Eclipse Phase game. I think that's just canceled. I think that's de facto canceled. Which was sad because I was just beginning to enter the pre-preparation phases, which would be sort of a preamble to me actually role-playing my character Vadu Snow. I felt that the French accent was adequate. My fellow players did not agree with me, so maybe fuck them, and I'm happy the game's over. I'm done with it. If you guys can't appreciate me and my French accent, maybe you don't deserve me and my actually role-playing this game. Jerks. It's cool. Let's wait for that to... Do I want to wait for that to smell? I don't know. I'm just gonna... just try to make some more space. Hauling stuff out of the mine is always the most tedious thing. And really, I don't... Like, my mine is actually kind of small, I think. I don't know how people... I don't know how big people fill their mines. I don't know what the standard is for that. So I feel like my mine is kind of small. I think I've effectively mined it for diamonds, which is what I mined for, basically. Everything else is just lanyap. I mined for diamonds, and I end up with more redstone than God needs. Enough iron, enough gold, enough coal to keep things going. Probably too much of all of those things. But I like mining. It makes me feel like I'm doing stuff. I like having things. That's why I play this game. So we can have things. I have a kick-ass house in this game. I do not have a kick-ass house IRL games. I'm going to be seeing Rogue One soon. I actually meant to see it today. And I spent the entire day thinking, I'm just working, doing some editing, doing a little bit of writing for folks. feel like there's something I need to be doing today. And that thing was seeing Rogue One on a Monday before like the Christmas crowds roll in. So I could just watch it and be done with it with the minimum of an audience. This is the first year since 2002 that there's been a Star Wars and a Star Trek movie released at the same time. Star Trek Beyond being the Star Trek one, which I also haven't seen, but I did get on DVD as sort of a... I would wrap it up and say Christmas present for myself, but really it was just an unwise purchase. So I'm going to be watching that here in a bit. I was thinking about live tweeting it, which I think would take me out of Star Trek Beyond, but I think I'm cool with that. I just need to find a day where maybe the people who follow me on Twitter won't be pissed off by me talking about A, how cool the jackets are, and B, how much I hate the story. You know, I saw 2009. I did not see Into Darkness. I'm never going to see Into Darkness. For the longest time, I put off seeing Nemesis. Nemesis, by the way, was the 2002 Star Trek movie that was released the same year as Attack of the Clones. So, I mean, when you say 2002 Star Trek and Star Wars movie, like, there's probably a lot of deniability there. There's probably a lot of Star Wars fans like, what movie? No, there were no movies that came out in 2002 because, God. So, heard nothing but good things about Rogue One. I do have to unfollow people because of goddamn don't talk about the movie, you jackasses. I've had some people, Howard Taylor, the guy that writes and draws Schlock Mercenary. I think I'm done mining. My axe is almost out. I got to get more levels to re-enchant it. So I'm going to go to my hunting grounds and just fuck around with some guys, and that's probably not going to turn out so well because I've got the recording going, and that's going to, like, there's always a lot of slowness when that comes down to it, so expect at least one creeper explosion. So yeah, Howard Taylor, who does Schlock Mercenary, which is a great webcomic, you should read it. You know, he's like, no, it's good, it passes my threshold of awesome, here's a spoiler-free review, and it's very spoiler-free. He doesn't just smack you with it in the middle of whatever else you're doing. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Seeing how that turns out. Probably tomorrow. I might see it tomorrow. Maybe, I'll let you know. I'll talk about it. And then I'll probably provide a link to whatever review I end up writing. Dead Parents Dungeon, I'm working on that. I've made templates, drawing... I made drawing templates, hand-drawn templates for it. And then I'm going to have to... I'm going to have to... I swear to God I'm better than this. I'm doing... Sorry, it is hard to fight and talk at the same time. I'm doing the thing with the stuff. Right, I have to actually put this onto stickies to literally, like, template the cards mathematically and get actual numbers on it and print them out and then make the templates, fill out the templates, print the templates, then play test the game with a very willing friend that I feel is a good friend but will probably only be 40% into it. So that's a whole thing. If you want to volunteer to play Dead Parents Dungeon and you live in the greater San Antonio area, please comment on this video. Let's see. I'm editing Search for Spock. I got to get that done post-haste because it's got to go up Thursday morning, and it is Monday night right now. Mostly, I don't think I take the curse words out of movies simply because there's so much movie. We got the battle recorded. I got to edit that really quick for the Brave and the Bold. Justice went up this morning. And I think we're not gonna record next week, but we're gonna double up on 2 good episodes from season 1. Hide and Q and Haven. Yeah, there we go. I can't always remember them, but when you say pretty good episodes from season 1, I basically know instantly what's happening. Finally, oh, my Disco comic reviews. As you guys know, I love buying comics for cheap. My local comic book store has comic books for 50 cents each. And I just pick up whole heaps of them that look cool, and then I read them. This one is Cognetic. It's part 1 of 3. It's from October of 2015. The writer is James Tinian the Fourth, not to be confused with his dad and the other Tinians. Anyway, the artist is Eric Donovan. It's kind of like Hancock without mind control powers, but with mind control powers. So, like, there's a brother and a sister who separated at the dawn of mankind. They hop bodies and control minds. And I guess the brother's been in a bad place, but he finally made his move, and now he's gonna, like, instill panic in New York City, which will let him take over more people with his brain powers, and then murder everyone there. And then I guess move on to the world, which seems really simple. She's like an aide to the president while he's making a visit to New York City. And, anyway. And, like, her wife is coming to town on a plane. So, like, her wife and her baby are at stake, plus the president, plus, I guess, the entirety of the human race. It's got a nice style to it. I want to say that I've seen Eric Donovan do some stuff before, because the style is very familiar to me. I just can't place it. But it's good. It's a real good comic. I've taken a few steps to hunt down the second and third issues. I much prefer limited series issues to anything else. So, I mean, simply because, it's there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. It's not going to jerk me around forever. I think I talked about Thumbsucker, it was, a few weeks ago, which is just, it's good. It's just not compelling because everything is so soap operatic and drawn out. Anyway, Cognetic is good. It's just good comics. I would recommend giving it a read if you find it in a discount bin, or if you find it in a maybe a trade paperback. I don't know. I haven't looked into it that deeply. I just kind of checked to see for second and third issues. I didn't find too much. Cursory search. Anyway, so I gotta say I'm really happy that zombies now drop the shit they pick up. There was a time, youngins, where when zombies pick something up, there was like a 10% chance you would get it back once they died. So you could blow up a creeper, get incredibly valuable gunpowder, and there's a good chance all you would get out of killing that zombie was a freaking piece of zombie flesh. Infuriating. Some experience in piece of zombie flesh. I think I've done really well for experience. I didn't keep track of how much I had at the beginning of this evening, but I'm pretty happy with 17. I know earlier today when I kind of do a little bit of admin before this. I was at 18 and I spent a lot of it. So I've managed to recover quite a bit of it. It's always good. So, wait, did I kill him? I thought I killed... maybe it was... I don't know. Well, I gotta kill him, though. I had to kill him. So anyway, so yeah, this is... I built this hunting ground because in the original design, the vines kept me from being seen by enemies. And now I think... you saw it a second ago. There was a zombie that I literally couldn't see because he was meandering through the vines. So it now works opposite to what I expected it to work. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I think I've got a lot of experience. I got a lot of mats. I've done some mining. I think this has been a pretty productive day. I think I'm going to have to check the old videos to see if I've done a proper tour of this. Yay. Sometimes I nail that. It feels great when I do. Sometimes I just freaking don't. Anyway, so I'm going to have to see you guys next week. So until then, later.